That's a good one.
Whoa! It's December in central Alberta. The great outdoors is mostly a frozen wasteland. And yet, we're going mushroom hunting. If that doesn't make a ton of sense, it's because we're not looking for those ephemeral summer mushrooms. We're looking for chaga. This is Eric Whitehead. He's the founder of a company called Untamed Feast. And if there's anyone that knows how to find chaga in this neck of the woods, it's him.
We're looking for old, slightly decadent, so they're kind of on their way out, birch trees. So not young, healthy stands of birch, but we're looking at in older, starting to be at the end of their lifespan, birch trees in secret, special places.
Oh yeah, good eye.
There's a piece of chaga. We'll leave that for the road hunters.
Even though you might be able to spot chaga from the road, there's no easy way around it. We eventually had to suit up and head out into the frozen woods. On this day, it was somewhere around minus 16 degrees Celsius. I was hopeful that we were about to find what we came for. Not only because otherwise I wouldn't have a video to share, but because I was thrilled at the idea of simply warming up with a cup of chaga tea.
Here's a good example of what people think they see chaga. See this aspen tree with the white bark and the black stuff on it? 50 yards right there.
Yeah.
So people think, oh, I've seen lots of chaga. Well, that's just aspen trees with some black stuff on it. That's not chaga. Aha, you say, I found chaga. It's a birch tree. I know it. It's birch bark, and look, there it is. Nope, not chaga. And it's just a scar. It's just wood. That's not chaga. But look here on this dead one, you've got some nice tender little Fomes fomentarius horsehoof. It's got a little bit of medicinal quality. We'll put that in our pocket.
I can't tell you how many times I've gotten a text from a friend saying, hey look, I found chaga. But most of the time it is something else, simply a tree burl or some other rot.
It's in Robert Rogers' book, Fungal Pharmacy. Super common medicinal polypore, typically on the knots of the aspen trees. Medicinal, you can take some off and add it to your tea.
But with a guy like Eric leading this expedition, it didn't take long to find one.
So there's some chaga there. But let's talk about sustainability harvest of chaga. Pretty much a non-issue. You're not going to comb the entire forest of the northern boreal and take it all, because 99% of it's above your head. Even if I wanted that one, this little one would be a pain in the ass to get. Number two, that's on a dead birch. That one stays.
Although you're not going to just see chaga everywhere, it's not necessarily that rare, especially because most of it is hard to get. Soon though, we found another one. This one was in reach, but a little too small, and Eric thought we should just let it grow. Chaga, unlike other ephemeral mushrooms, can grow over several years if left alone.
Best way. So this is a little healthy tree that at some point in time a branch came down, knocked a branch off, created a scar and an open wound and an opportunity for chaga. There's not enough here, and there's no point in taking half of that. So they can just grow with the tree, and eventually it'll be big, and in 20 years we come back and have a big nugget on there.
So that's a good example though, of how chaga, again, it's a parasite, right, that infects trees. So you're saying a branch would have come and knocked it down, and that's where the chaga
got an infection because it's already in here, right? It's in here like a virus, like a whatever. And there's an open wound, there's an opportunity. Or this is but a gateway, a coexisting relationship allowing humanity to have the fungus. It's a gift, has nothing to do with parasites. Depends which side of the fence you're on.
So you might be wondering, why go through all this effort? Why come out here in the middle of winter? It's cold. Why are we out here looking for chaga? Why don't you just grow it? Well, the thing is, you can grow chaga mycelium in a lab, but the true benefits of chaga are there because of the relationship that it has with the birch tree. And in order for that to happen, it needs to be harvested from the wild. Betulina pubescens, that's the name of the birch tree. So you can think of betulin and betulinic acid as being only there because of chaga's relationship to birch. So even though you can just grow Chaga mycelium in a lab, it won't have those compounds that are in there that are so important for the medicinal properties of this amazing mushroom.
After about an hour of walking through the ice and snow, we finally found a nice little chunk of chaga, perfect for today's harvest.
You know, ideally, this growth would be my mouth is cold. It would be out a lot further, and you can just pry some out, which is what we're gonna do here. This whole tree, it's infected and dying from doing some destructive sampling in the past. I can tell you this chaga rot infection medicine goes all the way down to the roots and damn near to the top of the tree. In this little instance, in the middle of nowhere, I think I'll take a whole chunk out of here and leave that one, or vice versa. Leave 50% is the rule of thumb if you plan on being in places where you want continued harvest and they're not like logging it. If this was a future cut block, which is the best way to go, I mean, you just take it all. A, the tree's dying, B, it'll get slashed and burned. So if you take a look up in here, you've got all that nice rich chaga and all the melanin content in it that makes it that color. And then we've got ourselves more than enough for tea today. I mean, it's such a beautiful thing. Cork-like light brown mass. It's quite light, although it's dense now. When it dries, it'll be really light. It's not like wood. And then you've got this charcoal-like burn on the outside, which has a lot of the medicine value. This is the best mushroom for making fire. Just so happens to look like it's been burnt.
Once we had our harvest, it was time to enjoy it beside a fire. But believe it or not, chaga isn't the only mushroom you can harvest in the winter. What's that?
Ignarius.
Nice.
So this is the one you like Alaskan First Nations will burn into ash and mix with tobacco, but it's also a good medicinal.
They said we're looking for maybe diamond willow.
Diamond willow fungus, yeah, there's some out here somewhere that I found 3 years ago or so, and I left some. I think we'll find it. But another polypore medicinal mushroom that grows on the birch is the Fomitopsis botulinum, also known as the razor strop fungus. It's an annual. You could actually, after you sharpen your knife, you could strop your knife like you would on a leather belt and remove the burr. Very anti-parasitic is one of the main qualities. Like, I don't have parasites. Well, we all kind of do, especially if you're just eating, you know, sushi and store-bought meat. A little bit of this in your crock pot with your chaga and stuff is how I roll.
Remember at the beginning when Eric was gathering some grass and drying it on the dashboard? Well, that's the required material for starting a fire with a chunk of chaga instead of a lighter. Now, I didn't want to have this be a bushcrafting video explaining how to do this step by step, but it was pretty impressive to see someone start a fire with a mushroom and a stick.
I'm going to move the coal to this piece. Okay, so we have it there. Save that for later. Little guy's ready. Not that you're here for a fire making lesson.
In no time, the fire was raging and we could finally enjoy the fruits of our labor.
The bigger the chunk, the longer the brewing time, right? So that's enough for a nice cup of, well, what, 4 cups, 3 cups chaga tea. Depends how strong you like it.
Making a tea is a common way to get the benefits of all functional mushrooms, not just chaga. The hot water breaks down the tough cell walls of the mushroom and makes the beneficial compounds easy for your body to use. But the benefit of chaga is that it's also absolutely delicious.
Maybe chaga's like a lot of things where it's like certain mushrooms off certain trees, they taste better. Maybe each piece of chaga is different because this is a very weak brew, but this is quite floral. This is almost like you're gonna see in a second. It's like a rose hip or a hawthorn berry. It's fruity, this one.
Let's see what we got here. Ooh, it does smell. It smells smoky and fruity at the same time. Let's give it a try. Oh wow, that is warm, nice, fruity, floral, and good for you. Chaga tea. Oh, that's actually some of the best chaga tea I've ever had.
After a long but satisfying day of trudging through the snow and harvesting the medicine of the forest, Eric had one last mushroom to share. It's something that I had never seen before in the wild. It's called diamond willow fungus, and it was pretty amazing to see and to smell.
Smell that.
Oh wow.
Well, it's used as a smudge by First Nations. You dry it out and it's a very spiritual mushroom. It's very rare. Just smells super nice. Ooh, baby, but do you see what I see?
More diamond willow.
And she's a beaut.
Try to describe what it smells like, the best you've got.
Well, it's kind of like star anise or like nutmeggy, cinnamony.
So we found some chaga,
Yeah,
we had some chaga tea,
yeah.
we found some diamond willow,
Yeah.
we had some jalapeno muffins in a fire. Any parting words telling people about chaga?
Get out there and harvest your medicine.
Couldn't agree more. Thanks for watching.